was like, I don't know if I can. Because my granddad loved Facebook and he tried to share it on Facebook. Dang. I'm getting sued. No.
Only Ringo? No, no, that's the video.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Already. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. You know, like I said, today we're gonna keep it pretty simple. Before we get started, does anybody have any questions? Anything like that? Did everybody get it? Anybody get any paperwork done? Order a birth certificate or anything like that?
Yes.
We done everything besides, I mean, this that we gotta wait for it to come back from the state.
Yes.
Nice.
Just waiting on the facts to come back.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there any questions about it, or somebody can understand something? Anything?
I got a question for you, bro. I got a question as far as for the power of attorney. Okay, so like at the bottom,
Can you come a little closer to the mic?
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so bottom of the page, the power of attorney, where it says item number,
Hmm.
what number should be placed right there where it says item number? Is that like a registered middle number or something that should be going right there?
Yeah, that can be your actual number. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make that any number. At the bottom, that's like how can I say, your power of attorney number, your trust number, whatever you want to like label it as, like, because it's going like in your files, your own personal files, your own trust. So I mean, some people like to put their birth certificate, their birthday, with their initials, or whatever you want to do, whatever 132, whatever. It's just for documentation file, and you can put whatever you want to put there. It's like your own, it's just like for contexting within your own documents.
All right, and for the same document, it says the debtor name type for the power of attorney, like right at the middle of the page.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. All right.
I think you say debtor's name type here, but under that, there's a line. I mean, is that something I should be signing immediately under that? Should I sign under that?
Let me see. All right. Yeah. Hold on. You say where at now? You said debtor's name. Yeah. No, you can just put you can sign your regular name right there. That's totally fine. Where it says debtor's name here, put your name right there in all caps, and then sign for your straw man name, and then put your appellation right here in the secured party name.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, right here on the item number, that's where you basically put, however you want to label it, in your files on your, in your context. And like I said, mine might be 1988 CRW POA. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that I can know, it's my special documentation for me, if I want to make like, my trust papers, I can list that, as a number or something. But yeah, that's basically it.
So where it say power of attorney 2, it goes on that one.
Yeah, it says power of attorney 2. This way you can put your name, the name of the person, who's the straw man. The straw man would go right here, because they're saying you're the power of attorney for who, basically, to who. And you're basically saying I'm the power of attorney to this straw man name right here.
Okay.
The all caps name.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
But if you don't got an appellation name yet in your secure party, what you put? You just put capital first letter, lowercase the rest, capital.
Yeah, for the secure party part right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put your regular name, uppercase, lowercase. You don't have to. I mean, if you don't have an L or a Bay, or if you ain't changed your name, you don't want to do none of that. I mean, that's fine. You can just put your regular name, just uppercase, lowercase. But you'd have to put your last name first, then your first name in your middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got another question, bro. Now, I got my authentic for my birth certificate. I actually got that done last year, but when I did it, I'm not sure if the Jamaica was a part of the Hague Convention. So, like, by them not being part of the Hague Convention, I still got my authentication, but that doesn't even really matter right now.
No, hold on. Are you saying that you got the authentication and it went through, and are you asking if it matters anymore?
Yeah, I did mine last year. I got my authentication.
All right, you got your authentication last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
May, right? I got mine authenticated back in May.
Yeah. So I mean, if it went through, and I mean, it's actually, I mean, if they gave you the full faith, and credit, on the national level, I mean, yeah, you should straight. You good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something?
But I'll just wait until everybody done with their questions.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I don't know who that was, but yes, you can ask.
Okay, so I got mine done too, but I just got it done at the state level and I use Jamaica now. Can I, because I did it months ago and I'm gonna send it, do I have to redo it before I send it to the
National. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
the thing is, well, you
Can I just change it to Taiwan at this point? Because that's the next piece of paper, right?
right. Have you have did you say you already did it on the state level?
Yes.
All right, did it actually go through and did they give you your authentication when you did it?
Yeah, they did, because I did it in
Okay.
person.
Yeah, okay. How long ago was that? You must have did it a while ago.
Yeah, I did it last summer.
Yeah. Okay. At that time, Jamaica wasn't in the Hague yet. They just joined the Hague like in April of this year or something like that. So I mean, but since you still got that authentication, I don't know. You might be able to get it still on the national level if you just said Taiwan now, because when you got it, it was it was liable, it was legit. So I mean,
Right.
it might still go ahead and let it go through. But yeah, if you go ahead and try it on the national level, I don't see why they would deny it. I mean, at the end of the day,
Okay.
if you do it for Taiwan, though, now you would have to. I mean, I
Right.
don't know. I'm seeing would they
I'm
let you do that though?
try it. I'll just try it because I mean, does it actually say like because it was already done it? I don't see anything that says like Jamaica or anything
Right.
like that on that document, right?
Nah.
They wouldn't they wouldn't really they would have to go through a lot to verify. So
Right.
I'm thinking if I just put Taiwan on a new one
Yeah, it
and
should
then
be a
send it,
problem.
it might be okay. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Because it's really just like you're supposed to be quote unquote using it to travel somewhere, to a country that's not in the Hague Convention, and you want to be able to use your documents there. So really, it could just be
Right.
like, hey, I changed my trip, my plans, and I want to go, to Taiwan instead. So yeah, I mean, in all actuality, I don't see why they could stop you.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna try it and then see if it what happens.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about the forms.
Okay.
Um, the only form, the link that I received for the forms were for the ethnicity and race identification.
Uh huh.
Did any of the other forms in the links, and I tried to click on the link from the syllabus, and it takes you to the website, but I'm not able to even sign in. Something is going on with my sign in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll put an update on there. It should be working here in a few minutes. It should be working now, actually.
Oh, okay. I was wondering too because I got the 404 error trying to get into the one
Yeah.
of the classes.
No, we be having we have to put a lot of little security things on the website now. Just the more and more like the message starts to spread, like the more and more little bots and things for some reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
get on the
I
site.
thought something happened. I was like, they trying to get us now.
Oh yeah, we usually have to do like a little sweep, little like security sweep, and usually it takes a little time, but it'd be worth it not to get all my information took. So yeah, let me see, it should be on. Let me check it right now. Mm. Yeah, you can get on it now. Yeah. But yeah, that should be fixed. Anytime that is on there, you can just ask me or just hit me up and be like, how long is the update gonna take or something like that. And we'll see about getting it sped up and see what we can do. But yeah, I said that's up and running now, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, you have I think yeah, every document should pop up on you.
Can we just log into our accounts and just
Mm-hmm.
go from there?
Can you do what now?
Can we just log into our accounts from there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Nice. We got everybody in here. That's what's up. Same people. That's what's up. And nobody late for class. Yeah, that's what's up.
I need the information.
Huh? Oh
I said
wow.
we need this information.
Oh yeah, for sure, family. I'm gonna definitely try my best to give as much as I can. You know. Let's see. Anybody else got a question? Anything?
Kalani, I have a question.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening.
Good evening.
Um, how are you,
Uh-huh.
everybody?
Bless.
I missed a class on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Uh, will I be able to catch up?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Did you what's your email? Can you send me your email right now?
You want it right here where it says enter your message?
Yeah, just drop it down in
Okay.
that little chat box.
Hey, greetings. How did you get the link to this course, this class right here? Hello?
Under I Self Law and Master.
Okay, just email me. Just email that same email, and then I'll get the folder for you. And let me know that you weren't there. You have WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Not exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll be able to send you all the information. We'll get that taken care of.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
no doubt, family. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yes, I think I just heard WhatsApp be mentioned. Is that what was decided on? I'm sorry if I missed that part.
Yes, ma'am. WhatsApp is what we're gonna be using. Like I said, we'll send out another email again tonight.
Yes. I created the group. So I will send an email letting everyone know that I created the group. So whoever has already WhatsApp, on their phone, they've automatically been added to the group. But if you don't have WhatsApp, you would have to download it, and then we're able to add you.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Any other question? All right. Nobody. Going once. Going twice.
Hey, Brother Truth, I have a question.
All right. What's good? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You going in and out a little bit. I can hear you though. Good. Uh-oh. I can't hear you now. Am I tripping?
Brother Truth, can you hear me?
Going in. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, question. I have a CRBA, and I got that.
I can't hear you now. Am I tripping? Yeah.
Phone.
Can everyone go on mute, please? You're not speaking. Go on mute.
Yeah, put your phones on mute. Matter of fact, if you're not speaking.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit. Uh-huh. A little bit.
A little bit. So I have a CRBA that I got from the Bureau of Consular Affairs. So I got the apostille for that because that's only what they offer. They don't offer authentications.
Mm-hmm.
So then I sent that to get it authenticated on the federal level. Was I supposed to go on the state level first and then send it on national?
Nah, you good. Cause I mean, where you got yours from is like where they issued it at. So I mean, at the end of the day, like
Nah,
people
you
like,
good? Cause I mean, where you got yours from is.
I'm lagging real bad. Hold on one second. Oh wow, hold on. Let me do the video real quick. I think that'll be better. Well, no, you don't have to go to the state level where yours is made from because you weren't actually born in a state, so you don't have like a birth certificate here. So that'll actually be cool, and they should accept that on the national level for you to go ahead and authenticate.
One second.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, sir. Can you please log out?
All right.
Man, it's lagging. Crazy. All right. I guess it's a lot of videos on here. It's a lot of. Let me see. All right. Can everybody hear me? Hello? All right. Can everybody hear me now? Hello? Can everybody hear me? So, hello?
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was, man, it's hella lag. Okay. That's crazy. All right. I hope John could hear the question, the answer. But I was saying since your document wasn't actually created here in a state here in the United States, as far as like where it was created at, you weren't born in a state. So I mean, where you first got your document at should be fine. Sending it to the national level should be okay for your document to go ahead and get authenticated.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. One second. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started then. Very well. Flip this camera around. Like if I do this, can y'all see me and the screen too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's innovative. Right. Yeah. How about that? All right. Okay. Well, first and foremost, today, we're going to talk about trusts, and trusts are important. Well, I don't like being looked at, but trusts are important because when you're building anything, you want to take control of it. It's something you want to have trust in. It's something that you can put your assets, your property, your wills, everything inside of this trust. This trust is almost like your backpack. That's what people need to understand. A trust is like a backpack, and basically, what you want to start learning how to do is, you don't do business out here in the public with trust. Okay, all right. You actually do business through entities like LLCs that have limited liability that are passed through entities. And basically, your LLCs are like public vehicles for you to go out there and acquire property, and then you transfer those assets to your trust. Okay? That's very, very, very important that we understand that. All right? And let's see, and as we discussed, as we discussed on Tuesday, foreign trusts are not controlled or administered over by U.S. courts. Okay, and this is why you want to buy things, all right, buy items in the public through LLCs and transfer them on paper, your property, over to your foreign trust that cannot be administered over by the domestic government. You understand? So this is all a game. And it's very important that you know the rules to play so that therefore you don't violate any tax law in their rule book. You feel me? So it's all a game. It's all a game. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to see what is a trust. Okay? People just need to understand the basics of what is a trust. All right? A trust is a fiduciary relationship in which one party, known as a trustor, gives another party, the trustee, the right to hold property or title or assets for the benefit of a third party, the beneficiary. Okay? That's very, very, very important that we understand that basic. Let me see if I can get a good picture on here. Yeah, this is going right here. I like this one. I just saw it. Here we go. This is the better one. All right. Yeah. So let's look at this. It's very simple. Wish this was bigger. So basically, a trustor is the person who always creates the trust. Okay, like that's basically like, let's say you, before, this is a living trust. Let us say this too. A living trust is nothing but a person when they're alive and they're living, and basically when they're still in control, and it's a trust that basically you're still in control of. You're the truster. You created it. Okay, the trustor, and it's very important that you understand that because when you're doing things in trust law, it's all about understanding what's your position in the trust and who you are. All right. So let's just look at this trust right here. I know it's a little small, but I don't need it to be big. Basically, the trustor always starts up here at the top. Okay. Always up here at the top of the triangle. He's the creator over everything. This is when you get to play God, I would like to say, in your own world. You're like the overseer of the whole trust. Okay. And basically, you're going to assign somebody to be the trustee of your triangle, okay? And you can start up here at the top because the trustor is seeing over the whole project. And you could basically, the trustee, I would like to say, is the person at the top of the triangle. He's going to be the one that's in control over everything that goes on within your trust, okay? Now, when people are actually having a living trust when they're still alive, usually most people assign themselves to be the trustee as well. You can be the trustor, the person who created the trust, and you can also be the trustee who's also controlling the trust. You feel me? Y'all understand? Very well. Okay. All right. All right. And then right here at the second point of the triangle, all right, I would like to say, I guess that would be a good one to go ahead and put the trustee. No, let's put this. The trustor, we're going to say he starts at the top. Trustee starts right here. And right here at the bottom, you have the beneficiary. Okay. The beneficiary is the person who's basically going to reap the benefits of whoever's in control of the trust. Okay. The trustee is basically somebody you're putting in control. It's almost like a business. It's almost like a manager. That's who like the trustees kind of play. The trustees kind of play a manager of the trust who's basically control your affairs. And if you ever died, that trustee would be the one that would control everything that's going on with your estate. You see what I'm saying? And the beneficiaries are the one who reap the benefits. Like, let's say you were a millionaire and you said, hey, I got this amount of money stashed away. So when my child turns 8, he can't get it now. When he's 8, 9, 10, 11, don't know what he's doing. Whenever he turns 18, he's going to inherit this money. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what you could have written in your will and in your trust. And basically your manager of your trust, your trustee, would basically make sure that when he turned 18, that he would basically go to the bank and basically turn over this money to your child, which is the beneficiary. You feel me? All right. So this is very important to understand when you're nation building for your family, because you all have to be trustors over your own trust. You see what I'm saying? And you all, while you are still alive, can be trustees as well, controlling the trust and being the one that's in control of all the affairs, all the property and things like that are in your family's name. You feel me? All right. That's very important to understand. And basically your children, everything like that can be your beneficiaries. Like I said, if anything ever happens to you, maybe you could assign one of them to be the trustees. You could have that already written in your trust. Basically, whoever you want to be the managers over your trust. Okay? That's very important to know and very important to understand. These are just the basics to trust law. Basics to trust law. I think this is a better picture. Yeah. They are so tiny. But yeah, I wanted y'all basically to understand that before we even got to breaking down this trust today, because the trust we're gonna look at is dope. It's very dope. And I would give y'all like the basic one that's on the course, but I think this one is gonna be much more interesting. It's much more deeper, more detailed. I like this one more than anything. I paid about a stack for this one, for somebody to help me write this one and everything like that. So I put a little extra stuff in here, but this is a dope trust, man. And, we're going to actually put it in everybody's link. I'll have Ali put it in everybody's, because it's not on here. But if you all are already students, you can go on the Trust Fund Baby course, and you can get that from there. It's the trust from there. But we're gonna actually send it in an email too, so everybody can have it. But it's called let's see, the Trust Fund Baby Trust. Well, I don't want to say it, but it's a trust. It's a family trust. It's the best trust I think we got on this website, and it's very detailed, and it's very important that you know. Again, a trust is like basically, again, it's the bylaws to your life, to how you want to govern yourself. Before you can do anything as far as you being in control, you need to learn how to govern yourself. And like I said, you can get your property and your estate out of their corporation, but I mean, once you take it out of their jurisdiction and their corporation, where are you going to take it? What you're going to do with it? You're going to take it to your trust and how you govern yourself. Okay? But this all has to be put on notice, and you know, people have to know how you're governing yourself or what you do. Well, not really, don't have to know, but you know, this is your structure to your life. This is how you know that it's real. Before you can manifest anything in real life, you have to be able to write this down on paper and have this straight. If you can get this good and really understand the powers of trust law, you'll be able to slide through all of this. Okay? Now, with trust law, it basically starts off with your trust formation and your protection. Basically, you know, how it operates and how it's going to be protected out there when you're doing business or whatever. Not through the trust, but your assets. Your legal status, your operation and mission, outside help and advice, lawsuits, all kind of things. And we'll kind of go through all of this and touch on all of this. But, you know, it's just very important. These are the constitutions to your life. No different. I want you to understand that building a nation, building something for your family, you got to have a trust. It starts there because that's your constitution. Those are the bylaws. It's no different than the United States, which is one big ass trust and a corporation. Okay, it's a corporation held in a trust. All right. Now we need to understand that. But at the end of the day, the United States has a constitution. That constitution is the bylaws for the trust and all of its members. Okay, the members are you U.S. citizens. All right. So every single state actually has its own constitution, which makes it its own trust, which is why every single state is its own nation as well. And we have 50 states within this one United States. But at any time, either one of these states can secede. And Texas has damn near done it, hinted to do it plenty of times. So it's just very important that we know trusts are basically like the constitutions to your life. Okay? Basically. So we're going to keep it going. Keep it moving. All right. Right here at the top, you have the Declaration of Trust Agreement and this is where you would just put your name, whatever you want to say there. You don't have to put the baby or whatever, baby trust. But if you want to, this could be used for your baby or your child too as well. And this is where you put your name, the date, everything like that, baby's name, business, grantors, trustors, the creators, the settlers. Again, this is you who created the trust, okay? And this would be the state where you put it in, and this is where you put that EIN at, just for tax purposes and things like that. Right here, you got the in care of. Again, you can get these virtual mailboxes. They're cheap. They're easy to get. They're definitely very accessible. They're only about $9.99 a month, man. So definitely don't sleep on those. You don't have to, always go and get a P.O. box. You can just get a virtual mailbox, and they even have them for your state and everything like that. So definitely take advantage of those. Moving along. And, and basically this is where you can put anybody who's the trustees and who will be controlling the trust. Okay. All right. And remember, we said the trustees this could be you again, or anybody else that you have in control. Moving along. Again, this is going to be a shorter lesson because, like I said, we only got a couple templates to go through, but these are very important if you can learn how to master them. But anyway, John Doe Baby Trust Fund. Anyway, the Declaration of Trust under agreement, again, all these red spots are just basically when you're going to put your name, everything like that. I would read everything for you, but then again, I think it would be much simpler if you do it yourself so you can really get this to nail down in your mind. I think it's just always better when you read it, and just don't go through here filling out things and filling out names. But basically, I'm going to just read a lot of the most important parts. This is just basically, Whereas in consideration of the mutual agreements herein contained, the grantor hereby irrevocably assigns, transfers, conveys, and delivers all assets, whether real or personal, and other such valuable consideration, and now owned in the future and transferred into the known trust as your name of your trust. Now, again, that's important because what you're saying is you're transferring all your assets, everything that you have, to your trust. Now, the reason why we don't ever want to do business in our personal name and in our social securities is because we'll always have liability. Okay? This is always about liability and tax liability. Okay? All right? And it's important that we know how to move through trust, and we'll start talking about strategies and things like that here later on. But it's important that you know how to move through these trusts, y'all. I mean, it'll make all the difference when you know how to operate. And again, you can make trusts, you can make unincorporated religious assemblies, churches, basically, and all of these have a very important purpose and reason. And we'll talk about that too as well. But yeah, moving along. Basically, like I said, this is just basically saying, hey, we're transferring everything that we have, all our property, to this trust. You don't want to own anything but control everything. All right, that's what that means, because you don't ever want to have liability. Okay, and if you're doing everything, you're moving through you're moving through businesses and everything like that are connected to trust and stuff like that. It's basically like, you're just playing a controller game, but you're never ever the one that's actually feeling the pain. It's like, it's like playing video games. You're going through the games and the wars and everything like that through vehicles, but you're not actually ever feeling the pain. It's because you're moving through a trust. Same thing. It's like a video game. All right. Just moving along. Whereas the beneficiary shall be known as, and basically this is where you can put the beneficiary, whoever's going to be the beneficiaries, the ones who are reaping the benefits, again, of your trust. Very important. Like I said, I'm not going to read all of this. And again, feel free to modify, edit, and put any of your own language. Again, this is the Constitution to your life. This is just a basic template right here, that anybody can use. And I mean, it's detailed and it's good. Okay. This irrevocable trust is a private trust. Hold on. Well, let's talk about the difference of that real quick, because I want to show you all that. Irrevocable, because I know somebody's gonna ask. So I like to read the definitions right, right here in front of people. And it's very easy to find a lot of this information. You can go on Google and you can type it in the search, and it'll usually come up. An irrevocable trust is a type of trust where the terms cannot be modified, amended, or terminated without the permission of the grantor's name, without the grantor's named beneficiary or beneficiaries. Okay, that means it cannot be changed, cannot be modified. Irrevocable, it cannot be changed. Revocable means it can be changed. Okay, you have an irrevocable trust and you have a revocable trust. All right. Now, I guess while you're alive, I guess, you would probably want the terms to be able to change, be able to be changed. You know what I'm saying? So you would probably want to call it a revocable trust because you want to be able to amend it and things like that. Now, I guess maybe when you're probably getting towards, the end of your life or something like that or whatever, you could always do an irrevocable trust if you plan on, nothing ever changing from when you lay this down and, this is what you want it to be forever. Or you can just do an irrevocable trust from the beginning and just know you don't ever want to change it. It's up to you. Everything is, to your own likings. Okay. Let's go back to that. But yeah, this irrevocable trust is a private trust created and organized under the covenant of God. All this, whatever. You can put your own language, your own whatever, religion, however you want to govern your life. It's your constitution. Again, articles and things like that. You have Article 1, Article 2, Article 3. It's just like the Constitution. All right. Your legal status and validity, your organization of your governance. This trust is agreed and organized under the common law trust and shall be governed by multilateral treaties and private international law or trust laws of CITES. All right. Let's look that up real quick. CITES. Let's look that up, because we're going to get to, these are all terms that you're going to hear a lot, now that your mind is open and you're moving through commerce now. You need to know what a foreign CITES trust is. Foreign CITES trust refers to a trust created under foreign law. Such trusts are treated as a non-resident individual for federal tax purposes and therefore has no significant income tax benefits. They are usually subject to greater reporting requirements than a domestic trust. Now it's just knowing about how to move and operate. Again, if you're moving through a foreign trust and a foreign situs trust, then basically you're operating outside of their jurisdiction. Okay, this is all about jurisdiction. Created under foreign law. Okay, foreign to their domestic jurisdiction. All right, it's important that y'all know that. Again, these are terms that you're going to hear a lot in commerce. Very well. Again, so however you want to organize and govern your life, this is how you will put this here. It's very simple. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a little example of mine at the end here. You know, you got the operation and the mission of your trust. You know, however you want to say it. Again, you can, the organization for uplifting, and again, we just have some stuff on here. This is just the basics. Again, feel free to use this one if you want to. This trust may utilize outside consultant, brokers, agents, attorneys. Basically, you're telling, you're saying in your bylaws you have the right to, legal counsels, whatever you want to do, independent custodians. Again, this is your life and how you want to govern it. This trust will compromise, pursue, or propose. However you want to handle your lawsuits, however you want to handle your managements and your investments, you will list all of that in here. Again, this is all just basic, simple information, but I mean, you can use it and it's still powerful, but I mean, feel free to add in your own. Establishment of financial accounts, okay? Your EIN numbers and everything like that. This trust will open a set accounts with an employee identification number only, and no social security numbers or other personal identification numbers shall be attached to said accounts. All right? This trust is non-domestic entity disregarded as separate from its owners. All right? All right? We're separate from its owners. It's an entity separate from its owners because we are not taking personal liability, and is a secured party in any account opened in the name of the trust within the definition provided in the Universal Codes, Commercial Codes, Article 9. Anyway, rights of ownership. Basically, the trust has the full rights of ownership to and enjoyment of any and all property in the possession. Okay? This is basically saying how you want to control your trust and your property and how you want it to operate. Again, this is like your backpack, all right, and how you organize it, the constitution of your life. This is stuff that you're going to be controlling property in. You're going to literally start buying stuff in the public through your LLC and then transfer it through a bill of sale to your trust. You see what I'm saying? You're going to basically sell it to your trust and title these things in your trust name. You feel me? And then you're going to register them in your trust by amending your trust and putting this information in your trust. You know what I'm saying? Real or personal property in possession. The trustees in office or its assigns in their absolute discretion may assign, sell, exchange, or transfer real or personal property to any persons or otherwise dispose of. Basically, this trust has the ability to control, basically buy property. I mean, not buy property, or receive property, transfer property, convey it to whatever. Any property that it has in its possession has the right to control it. Basically is what it's saying. You have donors and sellers. It has, basically its laws according to taxes, how this trust will be taxed. Again, y'all can use this information in any country. Again, I went to Jamaica and used these same documents, these same things, and they know exactly what these trusts, these wills, they know what all of this is. This is basic information I'm giving y'all, and this is commerce that operates everywhere. Okay? So, once you have a trust here, you can register this same trust in another corporation, another business in another jurisdiction to do business. Excuse me. So understand that this trust is like a living person to a degree. Anyway, so pour over authority for the purpose of renewing this agreement. Any assets outside the trust at any time may be poured over into a renewable agreement or a will. Again, this is the trustees, the rights and the obligations of the trustees. What kind of power do they have? What can they do? How can they operate? That's all to be listed in here, and that's, again, up to you and your life, how you want to operate it. I'll let you all read that and get into the meat and bones of that. Yeah, this is all pretty simple legalese.
I got simple,
yes, sir.
So when it comes to, I see you put no social security number. Most banks won't let you open an account without asking for your social security number.
No, well, we're talking about the trust
So,
itself won't have a social security number. But
oh, okay.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right. I
yeah.
thought you meant like no attachment to you as the as the trustee.
Now you can actually go and open up a bank account without having to use your social. You know, there at like a place like Wells Fargo, yeah, you can go open up a trust bank account and use your EIN. And basically,
Yeah, but they still right?
No, I mean,
so I tried it, right? And the lady was basically like, well, we need your social security number to start you a profile. This only going to be in the bank. And I tried to explain to her, like, I don't want my social security number attached to my trust at all. And she was like, well, we won't be able to open it because you need your social security number to start a profile here.
What bank were you at? Wells Fargo?
Nah, we don't have a Wells Fargo here. We don't have. I'm in Pittsburgh. We don't have no major banks. Like our major bank is PNC.
Oh,
like that's our own major bank.
So we did one at TD Bank, and we made them fill out a form that says that the information of the social security number will not be attached. But usually they ask for the profile so that they have someone that they can touch, I guess, or when you go in the bank to make sure who you are. And they, we feel that what we did was submit to them a form to make them fill it out to say that they will not attach this to any of our personal information.
Where did you get that form from? Was it something you just created?
I created the form. It wasn't a form that was made because the banks work for us. So
Right.
I'm like, I'm getting ready to open up and do business with you. This is what I need done to make sure that I know you're saying you're not going to do it, but I need it written, and they didn't have a problem.
Man,
Okay,
for real,
all right.
that's deep, yo.
I'm gonna do that because I sat down and asked her before I even tried to open an account. She was like, "Well, no, there's no way that's going to happen. You have to give us your social security number." I was like, "All right."
Right. Well, see, they're trained. They're not trained to know outside of the information you're knowing now. So she's going to operate according to the corporation, and that's all they know. So usually if it's a teller or somebody that does accounts, I talk to the manager because they want the account, definitely, because they want to use the money that you're going to put in there. But you can make that agreement. And I'm not saying that it's going to work at every bank, but if you have a good relationship and you go in, make sure you got your professional on, they'll work with you.
Right. I'm just gonna make up an agreement basically stating, or y'all can't use my social security number for any purposes outside of verifying who I am. Like it's not attached.
Exactly. That's what I did. Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's nice. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, indeed.
Welcome.
Well, man, I appreciate that. All right, in the event no trustee in office be responsible or liable for any failure or delay. Again, this is all just basic things on administering your life, administering of trust. How will the income go? How will the principal go? How will the expenses of the trust go? How will the records be kept? How will the trustees operate? How will the tax reporting of this trust be operated? Just everything, is it EIN? Is it how are we operating? What country are you in? You're in Jamaica? Is it a TRN? Are we here? Is it this? Whatever, however you're operating, it all depends on, where you're going, what country are you in? It's all what commercial game are you operating in, so moving along, distributions upon dissolution, meaning basically where will everything go if the trust does shut down and somebody does want, and you do want to close the trust. Notice given under this trust, the declaration of trust agreement is actual and constructive notice and is hereby given to any in person, all persons, legal entities doing business, contracting with, extending credit, all that good stuff.
Pardon the body too, just to give that brother another Jewel, he can make a 83 EIN number too and use it as a social.
You said use the 83?
80. How?
Yeah, make the estate number.
Yeah, 83, and you can use not only yeah, not you. It's not only for bank accounts, but it's basically for like a so it's like it acts as a social as well.
Right, exactly. You know what? I'm glad you said
So
that.
how do I go about that? I never even heard of that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did to open up mine. You know, I actually used my estate number. That's your estate number, and the reason why you said it worked with
Oh,
your
I got my
social.
estate number.
Yeah, it's basically the private side to your social. Your social security is the public side. Your estate number is the private side, and that's why it works.
I
'Cause
did
it's
get
basically connected.
I did get
Okay.
that.
Oh,
I
okay.
did get that. My estate number. I did get that.
Yeah, so
I
try that. See if
believe I
that
got.
works. That should work
How
though.
do you? Is that something you get? Is that something you get from the IRS, or how does that work?
Hey,
Yes.
we'll go see.
Okay.
Well, all right, yeah, it's something you can get from the IRS. You know what I'm saying? And basically, only takes like 5 minutes. You can log right online. And yeah,
You
it's
can
really-
actually just Google EIN. Like once you Google EIN, it takes you directly to the actual link.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know I got a regular EIN for my business.
Right,
I just had never heard of the 83.
Do it for yourself. Yeah, put
Okay.
your name as your business name, basically.
Okay, got it.
Let me
Do
see.
you put that in all caps?
What's that?
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's going to be in all caps anyways because it's a business, so
Right.
it's going to be in all caps anyways.
Yeah.
All right, I remember doing that. I've done that.
Yeah. And see, that's really what, making an estate trust, you know what I'm saying? Because basically it's like you're making, you're taking your estate number and basically you're making a trust for it. Like you're controlling your estate through this trust. Like this could be an estate trust right now that we're using as an example. Now I'm trying to see where's the EIN button at, man? See. Well, anyway, I'm sure y'all can
Listen,
search.
I'm telling you, just go on Google and just
Wow.
Google EIN and it's going to pop up.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, it's on the website.
Just make sure that it takes you to the IRS website because it may take you to a website that's telling you have to pay, but you already know getting an EIN is free.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Apply for right line. Like you say, you're right. Pops right up. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Anyway, you can get that online, and you would basically just apply for your estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of a business, instead of a corporate number or whatever, you're
Right.
applying for an estate
It
number.
will ask you what are you
Yeah,
what
there
are
you
you
go.
opening, and you'll just select estate right there.
Right.
All right,
Boom,
yeah,
just
I've
like
done
that. And yeah, you'll just fill it out, and it's easy. Keep it moving.
Okay, yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
the
thank
only
you for
thing
saying that part. I wasn't sure about that.
But that's the only thing you want to do publicly, like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to get your estate number, you can get that real quick and easy. Now, another catch to this is,
And you can also put that in the trust, right? Your estate number once you
hell
get that.
yeah, I was just about to say that. Like what we're doing now could be an estate trust. You know what I'm saying? Like the trust title could be, Cortland Estate Trust. It's a trust basically for my estate. So when I go into a bank, it'll be like, yeah, I'm creating a trust, but it's a trust that I'm operating from my estate. You see what I'm saying? Like, my estate is being controlled and protected by my trust. You feel me? So, yes,
And then you can,
know that.
and then along with that, then you can make all of that private as well.
Yeah.
Like, so once you, okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, and another catch to this is, like I say, when a lot of y'all start researching and doing your family history and doing all that other kind of good stuff, man, it's gonna be important. Like when you go to your grandparents, your great grandparents. I mean, I've done it for mine. I was actually able to find like their death certificates and actually find like their social security numbers on their actual death certificates. And I was actually able to, I was actually able to erect their estate. You feel me? Because that's what you need in order to erect the estate. You need the social. So if you can go back and find your great grandmother's social, you can go back and actually erect their estate and create a trust for that estate and actually take control over it. Understood?
Oh damn.
Yeah, somebody.
So you can do that for any of your deceased relatives.
Hey, brother. They still trading on their name. It's a live number that's gonna be alive forever.
Oh yes. Oh, I needed to know that. Definitely.
Oh damn, that's deep. All right.
Yeah, that's how
that's
they be
real
like,
deep.
what? That's how they be probating the estate, doing all that other good stuff. Like, and I'm telling you, if we don't take control over the state will every time. You feel me?
And then
So
because one of my partner, because one of my aunts had she still was getting mail from my grandmother, and my grandmother was passed away, and I was like, it was kind of weird, but now it's starting to make sense to me.
yeah, oh yeah, because
That's
they still out there
stupid.
trading on her name, and like, and if
Yeah,
nobody's gonna
we're
take
worth
control
more
of it,
dead. We're worth more dead to them.
yeah, oh
Okay,
yeah, for
okay,
sure,
okay, that's the drum.
yeah. So
Wow.
Okay, I gotta ask this question. I don't want to interrupt, but let me ask this real quick.
go ahead.
Because my dad passed a couple years ago, and again, like you said, now at first the banks didn't want to tell us how to do an estate bank account, so we did do that part. So I guess with this, and showed us how we had to get an EIN and all of that. But so I should now go erect a trust in his name. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I mean, like how we're doing tonight, you can make this trust just for him. Like you can make the trust, and basically he would
Okay, cool.
yeah, he would be like the grant. He would be the trustor. He would be like the person you said like created the trust. It's made in his name. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because
Huh.
I'm the executor over the estate.
Well,
Do you
no.
got
Okay.
Let me say.
fish?
Let me bring that back. Since he's already deceased, you can say that you're the grantor of the trust. You're
Yeah,
the one
see, he
that
had a
created.
will.
Oh, really?
Okay, cool.
Did he put you in control in the will?
Yeah, I'm an executor of the estate now.
Oh yeah. Well, you good. You super good then. Yeah, you would basically create the trust and be the
Yeah,
trustor because you're the one that created it. And then basically you would put
right.
yourself as the trustee as well because you would be
Okay,
the one in control of
okay.
it also.
So
And then
Do
whoever
you
you
have a
want to be
power of
the beneficiary.
attorney for him?
Yeah, you would need to do a power of
Yeah, I have
attorney
a
too.
power of attorney for everything.
Awesome. You're good to go, man. Like you're
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah,
And it's good to get a healthcare power of attorney too, because I have my mom and my grandmother. My
yeah.
grandmother's
And
96, and I
Well,
get to see all her records. Like I think somebody said something about a social security number. Man, they still have her. They have her listed as American and not black.
yep. Same
So
with my
I'm
great
like
grandma.
super
Yep,
stoked to get this information.
straight up. Like, and see,
And
that's why
like,
y'all,
partner body, our partner body one. And then, but not. And I'm gonna interrupt. Okay, so when you make the 83 EIN, do you make that with your straw man, or do you make that with your appellation?
you make that with your straw man because that's basically your straw. That's
All
just
right.
the private side to your straw man.
Okay.
Yeah. But oh yeah, so like that's deep though, man. Just with these trusts and things like that, like I said, you just need to then, whoever's the beneficiary of your family, because now that you're in control of that trust, that would be, the children or whoever, that's who you could list then as the beneficiaries, and basically you're just in control of your dad's estate. And that'll be dope. I mean, like that's how that works and operates. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if everybody can understand how the trust operates, then you can put it in many different forms in operations. And like I said, these trusts are like people, so I mean you can actually get insurance for these trusts and things like that. You can get insurance for the trust or a business that's operating on behalf of the trust. You can get healthcare insurance for a business that's operating under the trust or whatever. And basically, everybody who's a beneficiary of the trust and who's a member of the business, however when we set it up and get into that in detail. But yeah, whoever's a member of the business or whatever, they were all basically a member of the family. They could all get these healthcare benefits, and all you would have to do is basically just pay the premium every month, and basically your family could all get insurance on behalf of this trust. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, many people do that. That's the smart way to
And
operate.
it's an expense. It's an expense, so they won't have to pay taxes.
Wow, there you go. It's an expense. There you go. You don't have to pay taxes.
Mm.
Everything could be written.
Wow.
You know how to play the
Wow.
game. I'm glad you
Yeah,
chimed in and said that, brother. That was right on time. Yeah, thank you. Yes, indeed. So keep it moving. Just the irrevocable terms of the trust. Again, this is a real detailed trust. They don't always have to be this detailed, but I wanted to give y'all the very best one. And y'all could just take whatever out that you don't want. On here you see we have John Baby Trust, whatever name, trustees assigned here. Boom, John Alex Doe, whatever. And witnesses. You always want to sign in front of a notary. And again, anytime that you're going to amend your trust, like change it, modify it, you'll have to get a notary every single time. You feel me? And you'll have to get another, an amendment. You'll just, you have to state that you're making an amendment. You could probably just re-sign this last page every single time. Every single time you want to change your trust, you're just going to have to sign a new one of these pages. All right? And get a notary to sign it.
Revocable trust?
Yeah, you're going to make it a revocable. That's if you know that you're going to be changing your trust and things are going to be changing. Sure, yeah, you can do it like that. But if you're doing an irrevocable trust, like maybe, you want to put something in stone for, a family or your nation or whatever, and you're like, hey, it's never going to change or whatever, you could do that too.
Okay.
So what would you use the irrevocable trust for? Is that when you got everything set in stone? Like, so if you buy properties, how could you put it in an irrevocable trust?
Basically, if you buy properties and put it in an irrevocable trust, then basically you're saying like, yo, these are the rules. This is what's set, and nobody or no thing can legally change it. Like nobody can rule over it in any way or operation, without your permission. You know what I'm saying? It's irrevocable without you. Or basically, you can still assign people in your irrevocable trust to still control and move on behalf of it, and still operate in. Well, I guess you could have it. You can still have it changed basically in an irrevocable trust, but you would have to list these kind of things in your actual trust. If everything, whatever, whoop, under these certain circumstances.
Yeah, it depends on also the beneficiaries.
Right.
So like, let's say the irrevocable trust as well is like, whoever the grantor has named, the beneficiary can do changes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, quick question now. It says John Alex Doe Baby Trust, right? That's an example. Are we using an LLC for this, or are we? Is this
no, this is more like your trust documents. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to. Now, when you do make your LL, now again, it just depends on what the situations is. I'm just saying that this is just a trust, maybe just for your estate. It's just an estate trust, like a backpack for your estate. But if you want to do something like if you're operating a business, I would say, yeah, you would make the LLC, and then you would actually make the trust to the LLC too, and you would name the trust, whatever the name of your business is too. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like when you get into trust law. This is when you actually become, good and start learning how to play the game, shall I say. Like, how I operate business is every single company that I have, every single LLC that I have, I also have a business connected to it. You see what I'm saying? Every LLC that I have, I also have a trust connected to it. Okay? And that's the thing.
With a 9-8 number?
Yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Again, because I'm not doing business in the public through the trust. I'm using the LLC to do business in the public. I'm just conveying the property from the LLC to my trust. You see what I'm saying?
So
the LLC is like the one.
So
every LLC has a trust.
Yeah, every LLC has a trust. And those trusts, all your business trusts, are all connected to your foreign situs trust. You see what I'm saying? It's like one big ladder.
So it's like all the subsidiaries are going back to the main branch, which is
there you go. Now, and when you get even better, again, like that's just for you though. Again, that's your foreign situs trust. So I mean, you can start 10 businesses, and that's just under you, all your subsidiaries for you personally, and they all come with a trust, and they all every single LLC comes with a trust, and that's all connected to your foreign situs trust. Now, here's the catch. Now, when you actually start getting into and you're building something with your family, all of you all, your son, your daughter, all of you all can have their own foreign situs trust. Okay. But, the main thing that you all want to have is a religious, unincorporated religious assembly. And that too is a trust. Okay. That's basically a church. It's your religion. Okay. And now all of you all can operate. Now, the reason why unincorporated religious trusts are so important is because every state constitution protects your religious rights. And however you want to govern yourself, however you want to operate your life, how you choose to operate and fill out your trust, that's your religion. That's your constitution to your life. That's your religion. And nobody can nobody can govern over how you want, your religion to your life, which is why you put your whole family trust, all of y'all's foreign sighters trust, everything is to be connected to your church at the end of the day. You feel me? The church and state always go hand in hand, but I skipped one. I do want to say, you want to add in your tribal trust. Matter of fact, because every single foreign sighted trust should be connected to a family tribal trust. Again, as a family, you all are a tribe. You feel me? You all are a tribe. And from your tribal trust, you all can be connected to the church. Now, if you understand how the Romans took over, they didn't just come over here with their nation and some guns out and say, hey, everybody on the floor. Every single time you always saw these missionaries with these crosses and the Christians and, whatever, because they were also trying to, Christianize people, shall I say, or whatever the religion was at the time. You see what I'm saying? They always had the religion with the state. And still to this day, church and state go hand in hand. Okay? That's why the Vatican is so powerful, because truly he's the one that's in control over all the states. All right? Now, you all are going to be creating your own tribal nation, which is basically similar to a state. Okay? Let me see if I can get the definition of that. Tribal lands, self-governance. Let me see if I can find that one. Because I like y'all to really get these joints. All right. So basically, your trust, your church for your trust, you know what I'm saying? Your unincorporated religious assembly. It's your church, how you want to set it up. It's basically like its own unincorporated community. Okay? And an unincorporated community is an area that does not have its own municipal government. Such areas are within the political and administrative jurisdiction of a city, excuse me, borough, township, town, or village. Okay? All right? And you have unincorporated religious assemblies that operate within this community of people. Okay? Now, this is why I said you want to create your church, because the government cannot infringe on your religious rights. So you want to operate your whole family together as a whole. You all are all operating under the religious assembly. How you all want to operate your life according to your religion. Then under your church, you have your tribal government. Again, because all of you individually are all connected to a tribe. So that's your tribal government. Are you Cherokee? Are you Choctaw? Are you, what's your tribal nation? All right. Now I want y'all to know how important that is, because I want y'all to know that, like, they know who you are. You just got to come correct and, assert yourself in the right manner. Now, let me show you, because I just
How do you find out, Portland? How do you find out? I wasn't born here. I was born in France.
Interesting.
My parents are Haitian, and I really don't have any family roots here, so I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah. We could actually start with your parents, but do you know where your great-grandparents are from?
Nope.
Do you know where your grandparents are from?
Yeah, from Haiti.
Are they from Haiti too? Are they from Haiti too? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that's all we would need. They're actually from the Caribbean, so that's actually pretty simple. We can still actually do your paperwork and actually find all that for you. Yeah, we could definitely do. We do many people from the Caribbean, so yeah, if you needed some paperwork or something like that, you can definitely prove it on paper. And so looking right here on this SS4 again, because I just got mine yesterday. It was kind of funny how I had to get it, but my 9-8, the day before. And I got my 9-8 number for my Indian tribal government. You see this right here? Because they're asking you what type of entity. All right? What type of entity are you trying to get? Now, again, we pretty much got done with this. Before I get into that, I want to make sure we finish this trust. But basically, yeah, this is just getting everything signed and notarized. It's pretty self-explanatory. Your assets, this is important. Your trust assets. All right. You want to have this basically, again, when you're amending your trust, this is where, you add things into your trust. Basically, you do a bill of sale. You can do a bill of sale and transfer assets to your trust. Basically, whatever the value is of the object that you bought, you can basically sell it to your trust for that much. You can write a promissory note, basically from your trust, basically acquiring that bill of, acquiring that document to prove that you actually paid for it. However you want to do it. But yeah, that's how you would do. You would just keep updating your trust and adding in new things from here. Right in here where your property is, whatever your inventory, whatever, and you would list it however you want to do it. It's all in your, that's what Schedule A's are. They're basically like, what is your property? What are you keeping as your property? What's actually in the backpack? The actual Constitution tells how it's being ran and operated. The schedule is basically what's the actual property that you have. Okay.
So that's where I get confused at with the irrevocable and revocable. So when you buy property or transfer property, because you can't sell it like you said, you transfer property. Does that not what's it called? Because it's irrevocable. So the irrevocable means that what's on the documentation, not what's in the trust. What's on it,
right? Like how it's being governed.
Okay, so that's what becomes irrevocable, not what's in it.
Right. You can train. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the trustees are for.
Okay, I just get confused with that.
Yeah. So like I said, like in your trust, you'll actually be able to tell them, what the trustees can and can't do, how they can add new property to it. Like you'll actually give them permission in the trust to do that. It's just basically saying, however you tell them, however they can and can't move, like that, like how you govern yourself cannot be changed. You know what I'm saying? But basically adding things to the property within the bylaws of how you said they could do it is totally feasible. That's cool. And that's why you get trustees to do it. And basically this is like a memorandum of your trust. Like I know everybody don't want to walk in everywhere and actually be having all these paperworks with them and, having to show people all their personal business. When you go into these banks, you can just put a memorandum of a trust. It's basically like an executive statement. It's like a short statement version of your trust. It's basically saying that you've created a trust and you have a notary that signs off on it saying that it actually exists. Okay.
Right. So they don't know the inner.
Right. They don't need to know your personal business. And this is a certificate of trust. It's basically the same thing, basically just notarizing and saying that it's real and authentic. Right? Now that's that. Now I wanted to basically get onto this SS4 because again, every time you make a trust on paper, you know what I'm saying? Most likely whether it's a business corporation, a trust, an estate, or whatever, however you want to do it. Not the estate, because you do that online. You get that online. But for us, let's say we're making an Indian tribal government. Okay, and let's say you want to, because your family, again, whatever y'all want to call it, whenever you find out what you are, let's say you want to call yourself, you're from New Orleans or something, you want to be the Saints of Cherokee or something, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the legal name of the trust. What's the name of the trust? Saints of Cherokee. You know what I'm saying? Trust, whatever. I mean, and a lot of times you don't have to put trust, you can just put Saints of Cherokee. You know what I'm saying? Trade name, if you're going to be doing business, but we aren't because you don't do business out here with the trust. We good. Trusts come with trustees. Okay. All right. And trusts come with trustors and executors and things like that. All right. So basically this is where you want to put, who's going to be the trustee of the trust, who's creating this trust for, on behalf of this trust right here. Again, this is where you just put the trustee's name. So, put something like Chief Eagle Eye, Yeah. Saints of Cherokee, tribal nation, boom. Again, this is all, and again, you can get so creative with this stuff, man. Like, again, like I said, if I was if I was a Blood or a Crip or something like that, they could easily do something like this. A tribal nation, you know, a Crips of United Tribal Nation or whatever, you know, and then it's like every single one of them could have their own Foreign Sighters Trust, their own sets, you know what I'm saying, that were different, but together they're all united under that nation. But anyway, I ain't gonna say anyway, but I'm just saying you could build a nation. I'm just saying structure, they have it already. It's just all about knowing how to operate and do business the right way, and they could rip, man. But anyway, you know, let's keep it moving. I'm just trying to get you to understand the family structure and the business of how these SS4s and trust and EINs work. So you have the executor right here. And again, I want y'all to understand how to fill out these SS4 forms. I don't want y'all just to copy my shit and just, you know, fill it. No, understand what you're looking at and learn how to read these documents and know what they're saying. Your mailing address is always going to be your PO box. Okay. Your street address. If you're going to be calling this in, you know, I guess you would have to do a foreign one right here. You have to do a foreign address, but if you want to just fax it in, which is fine too as well, fax it or mail it in, you know, you just have to put your nation, your address here, a foreign address. But again, like I was only able, you know, because we had some people who called and said they tried to fax in their tribal trust to try to get a tribal government number and tried to fax it in or mail it in, but they couldn't get it. For some reason, they didn't mail it back, but they gave them to church. I personally called in and actually got my tribal nation one. I had to use a foreign address here. And to me, it just makes sense because, you know, you have a tribal nation. It's foreign to their U.S. jurisdiction. You understand? So to me, it just makes sense to call from a foreign trust. And if you're going to call in to these EIN places, because they getting smart, y'all, they trying everything to make sure that y'all not, you know, not really foreigners. They trying to prove you wrong, all this other kind of craziness. But basically for the street address on here, you want to make it foreign if you're going to call in, okay, and try to get a 98 number. You got to make a foreign address right here. And they might try to trick you and be like, well, what's your home address? And it's like, what's my home address? Where is that? What question is that on here? They're like, no, what's your home address? Make sure you tell them it's foreign. It's always foreign. Okay, you can tell them any address that exists over there. It could be a barber shop. It could be a fish shop. It could be whatever. It just needs to be a real address that could be registered in the system. It has to be foreign, though. Okay.
Yeah, like when I got my nanny, the lady was super nice, but everybody else that I talked to, they was like, yo, it took me like 30 minutes. I'm like, yo, mine was only like 5 minutes. Literally.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people get horror stories and some go straight through smooth.
Yep, I promise. It all depends on how they feel that day.
Right, but you also got to know what you're talking about. Like you got to be confident.
Yeah, man, I promise it's a test. Like they really, if you ain't got it together, they'll just hang up on you, like straight up.
Right.
Yeah, like, you know, because they know us, you know, they know we trying to like get out. And this is basically a way that you can control your affairs and administer over your life without their control. So they're just very precise. If you're going to do it, you have all right. But it's like, if you're going to do it, you better know what you're talking about, or at least seem like it, because we're trying to catch you slipping all day. That's the main job, because we don't want to give you the number. But some, like you said, are very smooth. They're, you know, some just don't care and just be like, cool. I had a sister one time and she actually helped me and started giving me tips and shit. I was like, oh, word. So, you know, county and state, you don't ever really have to put anything here. When I call in, they never really ask me that question. And I don't think you really have to.
I got a quick question before you move.
Mm-hmm.
On that foreign, I just need to go back on that. The foreign address. So we have to find a foreign address somewhere? Is that kind of like...
You can use anyone on Google. I always
cool.
say something.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Google an address.
Okay.
And name of responsible party. Again, you know, it could be Chief Eagle Eye again. This how I be playing with them when I call in. Straight up. I'll be like, it's Black Hawk. You know, today I'll be Eagle Eye. You know, Starfoot. You know, whatever. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't giving them my personal. You know, ever. You know, so I tell them what I'll tell them the name of responsible party. Then they'll ask you, you know, do you have a social? Again, they always trying to trick you and pull you back in. You know, where's your home at? And I'm like, in Jamaica. You know, well, what's your social? I'm like, you know, I don't have a social. I put foreign domicile. I always put foreign domicile. You know what I'm saying? And according to their own IRS rules, they have to accept that. Foreign domicile. Okay? And right now we're not making we're not making an LLC. This isn't an EIN for LLC. So we're going to check no right here. All right. We're going to check no again. If 8 is S, we'll keep moving. 8C, this is, we don't have to put anything there because we're not making an LLC. And again, right here it says what type of entity. All right. Now, if we were making a tribal government, again, if this is a family trust, a tribal trust that we're making, you know, the tribe, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Boom, that's the Indian tribal government. If you want to operate and move under that, I say it's important to have both of those trusts, the operate under the church trust and operate under the tribal trust, just because the Constitution protects you when it comes to your religious rights, which, you know, you can govern yourself however you want to according to your own religion. That's why that one's important. So, you know, like I said, if smoking marijuana, whatever it is a part of your religion, they can't infringe on that. That's a part of your Constitution. All right. Then you have your tribal trust.
So we do the Indian Tribal Government Trust. I mean, this SS4, and then we do the church. What did you say? The church assembly?
Yeah, I would say do the church assembly first. I'm just showing y'all the tribal, but yeah, you can do the church, and then I would say do the Indian one.
Okay, all right, cool. Because I was wondering how you would put them all together.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, whatever we do now, we're going to have to do again anyway after we set up our church assembly trust.
Yeah, you're going to keep doing this process over and over. Like every single time you create a business, every single time you create a trust, you're going to have to do this process.
All right.
Yeah, and this is how you get an EIN for your trust. It's like you create them on paper, then boom, you get that EIN form, and that's how you can operate in their commercial world.
Right, but you said everything should go under the assembly, the church assembly trust.
Yeah,
so if we already created this before we got to the church assembly trust, how would we put these under that?
Yeah, through actually
under the church,
through an 8832, an IRS 8832 form.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll talk about. Let me see. Let me see. When do we get on those? Okay, yeah, that's in the next lesson on Tuesday. We're gonna actually break that down. It's funny you asked that. The IRS 8832 form.
All right. Well, I don't want to jump ahead and confuse.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But basically, it's like the ladder that connects everything. So when you have these trusts and these entities made, you can connect them to each other. You see what I'm saying? It's like a ladder.
Okay.
And basically, like I said, if you have a new trust, if you already created your trust and you're just now creating your church, then you'll create your church and you'll just do an 8832 and connect your old trust to your church for tax purposes.
Perfect.
Quick question. Did you go over the security agreement?
No, I will though. That's next. Yeah. But anyway, my bad.
I guess you can finish that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish that, and I'm gonna do that. I'm tripping because I don't even think this was in the next week one. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all the importance of this. Know how to read it because we're gonna talk about this in depth next week. Yeah. So again, just the type of entity. This is where you choose. Okay, am I making a trust? You know, am I making a tribal government? You know, and like I said, it all just depends on what part of the ladder you're working on. Are you making the church? Are you creating the trust? You know, well, first you would create the church, then you would create the Indian tribal government, then everything under there you'd be creating trust. You see what I'm saying? And boom, when you create these LLCs, you're gonna be creating the LLC, which they have the box for the LLC, and you'd be checking off a corporation or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you would check off a corporation and what kind of LLC corporation is it. So it's just important that y'all understand how to read, know what you're reading, know what you're looking at. Okay. Your reasons for applying, you're always applying for banking purposes. Okay? Because remember, when we get these trusts, we go into these bank accounts and we actually register trust with these bank accounts using our estate to open them. Okay? Or you can use your social like the young lady said tonight and, just write an affidavit to go with it and make them sign it or agree to it or whatever. Your closing month of accounting year. What year do you want your taxes to end? Basically, like, when is the end of your accounting period for this business or this church? Okay. You always want to say 0 here. How many U.S. employees do you have? You always want to say 0 because, that becomes a tax having U.S. employees. That's domestic. Everything you do is foreign. Okay. And again, what kind of box describes your prior activity? You can put whatever. Then they're going to ask you probably like, are you involved in gambling or whatever? Whatever. Yeah, no, I'm not involved in none of that. And that's it. You just sign it, date it, and it's simple. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you'll always register these trusts. So you make them on paper first, and then you basically get an EIN form, and then boom, now they're registered in their now they're registered in their system to do business. Okay? Again, it's all about getting off the plantation with that Social Security and then doing business through entities and coming back to do business with the United States. You know what I'm saying? You got to get off the plantation and come back to do business with the plantation. You feel me? And you do business through entities that aren't connected to your body. Okay? Own nothing but control everything. When you use that social, it's owned. Stop being owned. You feel me? They created that social, so it's owned by them. You just want to take control of that social and basically create entities now to do business instead of using that social. It's very important to understand that. So these trusts and these churches and these tribal governments, all these things that you are creating are basically entities that you are operating through instead of using your social now and taking personal liability. Okay, everything is about liability. And when we really get deep in this in some of the later lessons, we'll talk about maybe insurance. Okay, because you're going to need insurance for these trusts and all of the members that are operating. And I'm saying people can create a whole nation out here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll get on to that. And again, I do want to, let me see. I might have a good one I can show you. Might be a good one. Let me see. Will it let me? Oh man, tripping. Yeah, see, we're gonna have to cut that out. But anyway, keep it moving. But yeah, like this is a sample of one right here. We got like, oh man, it's moving so slow. This is my unincorporated religious assembly. It's just an example. It's kind of all out of placement right now. But in the beginning, I'll say who's my grantor, who's my truster, who's the trustee. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And like you say, of this trust here, you have certain people and certain things, and you got your beneficiaries, all the members. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is, your articles, how I want to control the life, how we want this to go, what's some of the property. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, trustee powers, who's in control, how can they control it? And again, this is, nation liberation, how we're operating and controlling our whole movement and all the entities that are operating under it and everything like that. When we create families and children, everybody will be under the nation. You feel me? That's how you create a nation, right? You know what I'm saying? You all could go in the corner of your world with just a few people, and then, you all produce and make more and more and more, and you all are operating under a nation, under a trust. It's under a people, under a way of operation of life, how you govern yourself, okay? So anyway, just on here, it's like in order to be considered a beneficiary of nation liberation, you're going to have this, we want these kind of tribal records, administrate, all this other kind of stuff. How can you be a member of the trust? Just like if you're going to be a state citizen of Texas, if you're going to be a U.S. citizen of Texas, you probably got to have a driver's license or something like that. They have those requirements for their public shadow. You see what I'm saying? And that's what proves that you're a state, a citizen of that state because of your license. Well, what do you have for your trust? Do you have your own ID for your trust? Do you have your own licenses for your trust? Your own plates, your own trust? That's what I'm saying. Like when y'all get cold with this commerce, man, you can start creating your own everything. You're going to register your own car in your own damn trust instead of registering it in the DMV trust. You see what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. But see, we're going to get into all that in discharge. And when we get to that course, that's a side course, a webinar coming up. But that's when you can start learning how to discharge things and put it in your trust. You feel me? And man, anyway, it just gets fun. Just basically just, health care for the trust. How we're going to operate, when it comes to hemp and medicinal cannabis regulations and schedule fees for infringement. Oh, yeah, I put fee schedules, because this is what's going to happen if you mess with any of our members of our trust. You see what I'm saying? You got to have fee schedules. You got to get penalized for messing with our people because we're bonded and protected. You see what I'm saying? So this is all how you can operate your life. How do you want to control your family? You feel me? And like I said, if you have this in operation and somebody gets damaged, you know, whether it's from a police officer or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? That means somebody publicly infringed on your trust property. What are the damages for those? What are those costs? You know, what does the warehousing fees cost? Oh, you took my car? Oh, okay. Oh, you know, you asked for mouth samples, blood samples, hair samples. Oh, fingerprinting. Like, yo, there's a price for all of this. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you can put these people on notice, you know, however you want to do it, through an injunction or whatever. Let them know that you're operating through a trust. And, yo, there is consequences for messing with us in this commercial world, because it's all business. The only reason why people be getting snatched up out here is because they're operating as U.S. citizens who aren't in control of their trust. See, that Social Security is a trust. And until you take control of it, the government is in control of it. Okay? All right? Until you take control of it, as the trustee, you are acting as the beneficiary, just reaping the benefits of whatever the United States tells you the hell to do. You understand? The United States was the trustor over your Social Security because they created it. And then they were the trustee because you never came back to come control it. So you were just the beneficiary, just reaping the of everything that was coming to you. You see what I'm saying? So they gave you a list of rules you had to live by, which was their state constitutions. You feel me? And they ruled over your life as trustees, okay, to control you. All right? Now, man, I'm going to show you how real this is. Now, I wonder if we can find it. Man, let me see. Let me see if I can find it, man, because, you know, it's quite deep. You know, because we need to know who these people are in the Matrix. I'm telling you, this is all just business. We take things way too serious and we're too emotional about things because we don't understand what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
We've been bamboozled.
Yeah, we've been bamboozled. Let me see. Because
and fear. You know, they invoke fear in us, so we don't know any better.
Yep, that's it. And the programming, the things on TV, everything you see, you know, this is all part of the Matrix, man. They keep this fear in us. The slave movies that they keep showing over and over and over. Like we just never existed before then. You know, we didn't do great things or something. So, you know, but they keep these images in your mind so that you can never get over it. And they keep playing them back and back. They got to keep this fear within you. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Man, I wish I could find it on here, but like down here in Houston, like they'll actually tell you. Like, let me see, like who our head sheriff is in our county, man. Let me see if I can find him. Like they'll say the main purpose of
that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, here it goes. Man, let me see if they'll what they let me find, dude. Oh, there you go. The mission of the Harris County Sheriff Office is to enhance the safety and protect the trust of the citizens of Harris County. Like, listen, he not talking about your trust as, listen, I'm trying to have good trust in y'all. You trust in me. You know, he talking about protect the trust that's controlling your ass of the citizens.
Wow. Oh my God, right there in plain sight.
That's why the sheriff is the head officer. That's why, like, when you moving as a guard in this, you know, in this corporation.
So they're employees.
Yeah, they're the employees.
Yeah,
all of them are employees.
They're just employees. They're not trying to protect you with compassion.
No, all in the wording. Like once you
they don't work for you. They don't work for you. They work for the
Wow.
Yeah, they're trustees of the state. You understand? So basically, they're policy enforcers. They're not police. They're policy enforcers because they have a policy, which is the Constitution to uphold, which is for us. Now, here's the thing. You know, we have a trust, which is the U.S. Constitution. Now, since they've created the original ones, they've amended the trust and they've basically added in a lot of codes and statutes. Now, if you can go back to the original trust, because any original trust that you have and can find, you can still abide by those laws, the original ones. Even when they amended them, the amended ones don't have to apply to you. But that's the thing. They added these amendments of the codes and the statutes to control slaves now. Because now, you know, they actually have two governments in operation. You know, when I don't want to say two governments, they have a corporation, which is for the U.S. citizens, which is a trust too, which is, you know, basically under the control, under the sheriff and everything like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like basically his job is to basically protect and control the trust property, which is you U.S. citizens, which is the corporation, the United States, Inc. And then you have the sovereign republic in every single state. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually for the free men and women. You know what I'm saying? If you actually look, they might say smoking marijuana or growing hemp is illegal in the state, but that only applies to the slaves. You can't go back to a constitution in the 1800s and show me that in the Constitution. I know, because George Washington and them was growing it. You know what I'm saying? And if you know how to apply the old Constitution and move under those laws and put those laws in your trust, say, hey, according to the Constitution of whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, this is how I want to govern my life here in this state. You see what I'm saying? And if you can put that kind of stuff in your trust, you can use that as more protection and more bullets to actually protect you in common law. You can say, hey, I want to operate under the sovereign republic instead of operating under the corporation of the United States. From then on, you can start doing business with their corporation, and the only person you ever need to talk to is the sheriff. All of these constables, all of these other minions, they don't mean anything to the sheriff. The sheriff is the head top dog, and that's who you need to be talking to in any legal situation. A sheriff. If you get pulled over by the police, first thing I'm asking, like, yo, are you a sheriff? No, you're not. Oh, well, let me roll this window up. Go get me the sheriff. Because can't nobody else talk to you. They don't have the sovereign ability. It's business. I'm telling you, when you know the law and they know you know the law, I promise you they move around. It's a totally different world. It's just business, man. And we take everything so personal because we think this corporate shit is real, and it's not. Man, it be heavy on the mind when like you really get it. But anyway, that's that. I wanted to hit the security agreement real quick. It's real simple. And a security agreement, again, it's just an agreement between you and your straw man. Okay? It's an agreement between you and your straw man saying basically, again, this is all a part of the trust transferring and stuff like that. Whenever you are transferring things and, you know, new property, you always want to basically say, hey, you know, my trust, my creditor, my secured party is in control over everything the debtors has. You know, and when you want to get into your UCCs and things like that, they will not let you record a UCC in most states unless you have a security agreement in control first on documentation. Again, your birth certificate, you know, these deeds, these wills, everything like that, these instruments, these are what we call securities in commerce. Okay, they're securities. All right, like stocks, bonds, securities. Those pieces of papers are securities. And basically, you need to have an agreement for those securities as how they're going to be controlled. Okay, this is why you have a security agreement, because you're saying that your secured party is agreeing to control over the property of the debtor. It is a security agreement. All right, very simple. These words all come together when you can just understand the words, and I mean, these documents all come together when you can understand the words of what they are, understand the meaning of what these documents are. They're powerful. Okay. All right. Now, basically on here, you just have the agreement. You can, you know, again, you can put whatever you want to in here, add it, juice it up, however you want. Basically, I don't really like this one too much. You can put whatever you want to in the collateral section. You ain't got to put the promissory notes, all this other kind of stuff. I mean, that's not really necessary. It just kind of makes things a little complicating. But basically you can put everything on here that you have as collateral, put your homes, put your EINs on here, put your whatever companies, businesses, everything that you have. You're basically saying it's whatever you go out there and have made in your life through that social security number, it needs to be controlled through a collateral agreement. And when y'all start moving properly, you know, you should never really have to go back and control, you know, and redo this security agreement, really, just because you shouldn't be buying things through your social anyway. You should just do one security agreement and be done with it, and just transfer over all your assets at that present time in your life and be done with it. Okay? And then just start moving through a business from then on. But this is just basically saying the secured party now who's in control is taking control over all your debtor shit that you did in the past when you were unknown, when you were in the unknown. Okay? And it's just basically, again, just rules, how you want to govern your life. You know what I mean? How you want to govern the agreement of the securities. You got to get it notarized. Again, like I said, a lot of this stuff ain't really complicated. It's more about just time consuming and actually going to go get the notary stuff. If you know a notary, or, you know, if you become a notary, or get somebody in your family to be a notary, like, this can all be so much cheaper and easier for you all. If you know one, or if you can become one, You know what I'm saying? I mean, or whatever. This works much easier.
But you can't notarize your own document.
Nah. You can't notarize and do your own document.
So it's better to have someone become one. That's what I've done. I had someone become one for my real estate company. So when you go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, it just made me think, could you get a notary? Could you do that through a business? Could you have a notary business and be notarized through the business, or is it through the person? I'm trying to believe. I can't remember.
No, so it's through a person, but they work for my company.
Okay.
Basically, my company basically paid for them to go to school, or not school, but it paid for their notary doc. Yeah.
There you go. See, that's the basics of trust law, business law, everything right there. Just do it all through a business and have somebody else with it get the items. That's no different than with a gun trust.
Right, like
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Like
yeah. That's funny you said that, and that's the basics of a gun company or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually have to have a gun license or actually be affiliated with it, but shit, you can have somebody who is, and you can list them as the trustee or basically the manager of your LLC, and they could basically operate on behalf of, and do the same thing, just like you were saying. That's interesting, man. Very interesting. Good example. Thank you.
So could you go over this document a little bit? Because I see like trademark symbols and stuff like that. What if we ain't trademark our name or none of that? Like, do we have to do all that, or is that something you would recommend?
I mean, like I said, this is all your private information. If you don't want the trademark in there, you can take it out. But I mean, later on down the line, you definitely want to trademark it. The reason why I say that's a good question. Because the trademark basically, like, I'll just put it like this, like, especially when you're dealing with commerce and business. Back in the day, when they used to like sell slaves, they used to put brands on them, and a lot of times you see like Greeks and stuff put these brands on them, and it's kind of like a symbol that they know where you came from. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand, and like basically my property and I own it, it's my brand. And then basically whenever they went to like the trading dock, and they would actually sell them on the chopping block, whatever, they would, it would be, considered their trademark. That's how people knew, what plantation they came from, who owned them, who raised these slaves, who owned them, who controlled them. It was their trademark. You feel me? So at the end of the day, that trademark was made over your name, and somebody has tried to slave you. So until you go and take control over it in their system and say, hey, I own this trademark now, you know what I'm saying? And it's my property. Because that piece of paper, that name isn't you. It's just property that belongs to you. And I mean, at the end of the day, you probably don't have it trademarked yet, but I mean, you can in the future, and you probably will. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can keep it in there if you want to, or, if you don't want to, you can take it out. But I mean, it's not going to hurt you to leave it in or take it out. It's up to you. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you're saying you're trademarking the name.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And up here,
I have a question.
This document just looks super complicated.
Yeah, oh yeah. But see, once you learn this document stuff, you'll be cold, man. You learn how to move through any entity. It's like Avatar, straight up, Matrix. But yeah, go ahead. Somebody had a question.
Yeah. So, say you have a family member that lives out of the country and they want to come to this country.
Mm-hmm.
Could you put them in your trust, and it's like you create them to become a citizen, a part of your nation? Like how they go through the.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have an immigration course on that on the webinar on immigration, but I'll just say you're right on path. And basically, members need to have IDs to say that they're actually a part of your nation that actually has territory here. That makes sense?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and see, and the thing is, you will want to make them a part of your church, because if like I know, when people can't be deported or anything like that if they're a part of the church. And if you have a church over here that has territory, and basically they're a member of the church, then basically they cannot be deported, because basically that would be an infringement on your religion, which is unconstitutional.
I just have a question to go back. Okay, can I do the ethnicity change? Can I do that at the same time I'm doing the authentication?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's basically it for tonight's lesson. Again, I just want to say this too. The federal, like these three numbers, this is your social security number for the debtor. Again, this is the public side, the debtor, the social. This is your social right here. And on the creditor side, the secured party side, you have your EIN. This could be your 9(8) trust number right here, your federal EIN. And then your exemption identification can be your estate number. Okay, when you go and get that 83 estate, they might change. It might not just be 83 now, but you know, it could be an 83 number, whatever. But you put your estate number there, your 9(8) EIN. Again, this is the private side. This is the public side on the left side. Okay, private and public, debtor and credit. Okay, creditor. Our whole lives we've been living on the debtor side. Now we're gonna work our way on over here to the secured party side and be a creditor now. We through being shadow. So these are just the basics you have to lay out for your life. Again, we're talking about the basics. Now, after we get done laying out all these basics in these first few estate lessons, it gets fun. But right now, we got to knock out all the basics, because once you learn how to do these basics, you'll learn how to always authenticate your instruments. You'll learn how to always create trust and learn how to move through businesses, learn how to move through LLCs. But y'all got to learn the basics first. And the basics is going to start by organizing the first business and the first trust over your life, which is your own name. You feel me? So that's why you all are going to be creating a state trust, and you're going to be creating whatever, you're going to be creating trust in your name, whatever, because, that property, that name is your property, that estate is your property. You feel me? That's why y'all are making an estate trust. I mean, me personally, the very first one I would make is the estate trust. You know what I'm saying? Because you just took control over that property, and this is how you want that estate to be governed. Now, from there, you can make your unincorporated religious assembly trust. You can make your tribal trust. But all of these are going to be trusts, and they can all have different rules. And again, when you get cold, you'll start learning how to make a gun trust and a security company for your other assets, yo. That's all the FBI is. They're just a security company for the damn U.S. trust. That's all the police departments are. Their businesses that are operating under the U.S. trust. Man, listen, this is business, yo. You feel me? Once we learn how to nation build, we can get out here and do the same thing. I promise you can go to Walmart right now and they got a little security car driving around with a little white, white security car with the little thing over the light. You know what I'm saying? Well, they got them all the time out here, and that's the thing. That's their security company for that trust, for that corporation. You feel me? When you're moving as a nation, you can move any proper way that you want to. You just got to know the common law and know the rules to the game and know how to play. We just haven't learned how to play because we don't know how to focus on the business. We want to be emotional. It's time to stop being emotional and get to business and build something, right? I don't want to hear all that damn talking. So, you have your defaults, your indemnity clause, all that kind of stuff, man. So it's simple. You feel me? That's it. I think, it was quite a bit of information we shared tonight. Again, I wanted to just really focus on trust. Let's see, trust in the security agreement, and basically what a 9(8) EIN number was and how to get these EIN numbers. I really wanted y'all to understand these SS4s. Again, because if y'all can learn how to move through them properly, again, if you got a child who's about to be born, maybe you don't need to give him a social security number. You can go to that SS4 document and create a foreign trust to do business with the United States. Okay? He doesn't ever have to get a social. Just make him an EIN for your child and start him young and actually start building his credit as a child. You feel me? You can actually build the credit. You can open up a bank account in the trust and for your child when he's 1 year old. Matter of fact, you can open up while the baby is still in your stomach, you can get an EIN and already open up a bank account for it, already start doing business and things like that. And that baby could already have money before it even came into this world. Come on. You feel me? You can have a certain percentage of your check go to this bank account, this trust bank account that's made for your child. And basically in this trust that's made for your child, this trust fund, baby trust for your child, basically you can say when he turns 18, he can get the funds that I have in this trust that I made for him. And every single month, 10% of your assets or whatever can go to this trust. And while this baby doesn't even know what's going on, when he turns 18, he could be slapped with money. And he doesn't have to leave high school and go work for others or go to college to learn how to work for others when he can really start the business and the job then. You see what I'm saying? This is what it's about. And if you were really cold with it, you would start a business now. You feel me? And you could put it in your child's name, or you could put a percentage for your child. And once your child gets old enough, he could just take over the business. And when he becomes 18 and graduates from high school, he could already have a full-blown business and be the manager, the CEO, or he could be the president. How y'all be thinking these other races be doing it so well? That it be family, partners, homies they be putting up there. You be like, damn, I went to college for all these years and got all these degrees and all these, and you still working below the man who ain't learning shit, who don't know nothing. You feel me? It happens every day. But that's trust law. That's business. That's why, like, we can't take it personal. It's business, and if we don't like it, we got to create our own. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I got tired of it. You feel me? I only worked one job when I was like at the movie theaters when I was like 17, and they had me cleaning like popcorn and sweeping. I was like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my job. You know, I couldn't control and move how I wanted to move. So I was like, nah, this just ain't for me. I've been on that hustling tip ever since. And then I'm telling you, if y'all are hustlers, like once you learn how to play the trust game, you're gonna be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Unstoppable. So that's why this is important that we really, really focused on trust law today and understanding the different kind of trust, from churches to tribal governments to, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to create your own Rome. You got to create your own church, your own state that it operates. And I'm telling you, that's how the Vatican and all of them is operating right now. The Vatican is a church, man, but they got their own security. You can't just run up in the Vatican like you crazy. They got whole guns and, you know, bazooka. Like, yeah, it's real. You know what I'm saying? So that's all, man. Anybody got any questions, anything?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. I asked a lot.
Good. You got the flow.
All right, for the EIN, for the SS4, that's the first thing you need to do before you even start a trust, right?
I mean, I would do it on paper first before I get the EIN. Only because, like, I don't know if you saw it, but like at the top of my trust papers, I like to have my EIN number on there. Well, I guess you would get your you could write up your trust papers first and then go back and call in and get your EIN. Or, I guess you could get your EIN number first. It really doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt, or, you know, however you want to do it. But I guess in all technicality, you could just go ahead and get the EIN number first and then add that onto your trust paper and how you want to rule it and control it. It's all up to you how you want to personally do it. But doing either one before the other, it's not going to hurt or harm you.
All right, and you never put your social security on there, right? You just put it's foreign.
Yeah, foreign domicile.
All right.
Yes, sir, and it got to be foreign domicile. Don't just put foreign domicile.
All right.
Are we gonna have
all right,
these copies? These what you showed us, these forms. Will we have those examples to?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Like after every.
Well, we have.
Yes, ma'am. After
every. You already have them. The forms. Syllabus. Like once you open up the syllabus, if you open it on your computer, and you actually click the links, they will take you to the course where it holds the templates that you can either print out or edit on your computer before printing out.
Yeah, I can't access them at all.
Yeah, you should be.
When you went on the computer?
Yeah,
because everyone
the syllabus, they're not clickable.
Yeah, I click on them, I get to the website, but I'm still not able to access. I even sign in and try to access them same.
Yeah, we got to double check that because everyone else's
the syllabus I have is not clickable.
Okay, so yeah, that's what we're gonna end up doing anyway. At the
end. It doesn't. No, that's one thing. It doesn't look clickable, but once you click it, it should be. Are you on your computer doing it, or are you on your phone? Because if it's on your phone, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm on both. I tried it on my computer and my phone.
Okay. That's all good. Like
I would say just try again because he was editing it, but if not,
okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay,
you're in now. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to ask you real quick. So I'm rescinding my license, and then it say on the it asks for your coat of arms. Is that important? Is that necessary, or
nah?
Should I just rescind them anyway?
Yeah, nah. You don't need that. I wouldn't. What state are you in?
All right. I'm in Illinois.
Right. Nah. You should be straight. like I said, when you rescinding it, man, nah, you just need to rescind and cancel that contract with them.
All right, cool. So I could just so just send this and just I filled it out and everything. I was waiting on my coat of arms to come back, but then I figured like I just want to get it out the way, so I'm like, let me just send it up.
I'm tripping, dog. We gonna get to the end of this tonight, but okay, I got you. Right. Who else? Anybody else have any questions?
All right, say look.
When you're making a trust for your deceased, like family members, would they be the trustee or the trustor?
I mean, basically, they would be like the trustors, because really, you would be the trustor because you're creating it, and really, they're not even the trustee. You're just making it in their name. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can show you a good example. I don't know if I have one up. So I have one. I actually did for like my grandfather, but basically, the trust was made in my grandfather's name. You know, but basically I was still like the executor over the trust. I was the trustor. I created the trust. Now, since they're deceased, they can't really play a role. You know what I'm saying? It's just made in their name.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's just because it's no different than if you made the trust and you died, you can't really play a role. You can't be an executor or whatever. But if you made the trust, you are the original trustor. If you made the trust, you are the original trustor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Indeed. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
How would you re-erect deceased person's estate?
You got to find their social.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was saying if they're dead, if it's old like grandparents, you can always look into the death records.
Mm-hmm.
The death certificate, I mean.
So you don't need to authenticate the death certificate?
I mean, yeah, you could. Because I mean, in all actuality, you can get full faith and credit in that too as well.
Okay.
I mean, in all actuality, you can get full faith and credit in that too as well.
Uh-huh. But just to erect the estate, you just need the person's social.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
So I'm still this form, this security agreement. Where do this go? Do this stay in your records?
Yeah.
Or do you take it to the county?
Nah. Basically, you're going to be using this in the UCCs when you set up the UCC trust, and we'll get into that like lesson 4. When we start doing UCCs, you're going to have a security agreement when you want to file your UCC, because they need to know who's in control over this straw man or who's trying to take control over all his securities. And you'll have to put that on public record when you do your UCC.
Okay.
All right. So again, these are the documents. What I'm gonna try to do, if I can get some time, I might see if I can try to find. I'm gonna get all the hard copies, and basically at the end of every week, I'm gonna just try to send you a bulk of all the documents in like I'm gonna try to put them all in the lesson on the website. You all got the video link today. I'll try to go back and just drop, the PDF files to a lot of these documents, or the document files, Word files to a lot of these, so you can edit them there too. Because I know you have them in the documents too on the website. But yeah, that should be able to help you. Just in case down the line in the future, let's say you aren't a subscriber or something like that on the website, and you basically can't have access to the website if you're on a subscriber to see all of these some of these courses for free. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just one thing to keep in mind too. So
that's what we just pay for the course. We're not subscribers.
Right. So yeah, that's why we're gonna have to do that for y'all.
How that would work.
Yeah, no worries. Well, at the end of every week, we're going to do that. Yeah, at the end of every week, we're going to go ahead and put together like
I have one quick question.
Documents. Go ahead. What was your question?
On the foreign address, I mean, this work with me. I'm looking up a foreign address. How do you do that? Do you just pick one random address, or I have a sister that lives in Canada. Can I use her address?
I mean, I'm sure you probably could. I don't think it would be a problem. I just know they do so much business together. Damn near Canada is the U.S. Now. They damn near, they work together so much. But yeah, I mean,
I thought so. That's why I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you can use any address.
Okay.
Like I'll be picking restaurants, hotels. It doesn't matter. They just want to know, is it a real live address?
Oh, okay. See, that's what I want to know. Okay, so it could be a business address. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
It could be any business address. I always just get a hotel, and they just want to know, is it real? Just because like it has to register in their system. You know what I'm saying? Like in their system, it just can't be domestic. As long as it's not domestic,
Gotcha.
They can give you a 9-8 number.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can choose England, any country, anywhere, and just okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Brother Truth, you go to Jamaica. Like, what made you pick Jamaica out of everywhere? Do you got family over there?
Well, actually, man, that's a good question. I actually went there for like what do you call that? A marriage retreat? Not a marriage retreat, like I guess when your homeboy's about to get married, but we wanted to all go out there and kick. I forgot what you call them.
Bachelor party.
What's
Bachelor
that?
party.
Yeah, bachelor party. There you go. We went out there for a bachelor party, and just happened to be chilling at like Rick's and one of those places in the grill at the little restaurant club, whatever you call it, and just happened to, happened to have that look and saw a dude. It was like he was young. It was like, man, hey, you know what that's at? And, we just happened. Next thing you know, we was walking in the jungle and meeting all kind of farmers and shit. And the rest has been history. So that's kind of how I got connected there, and I just been meeting partners, friends, and the homies ever since. And just they need a lot of opportunities over there, man. When we come over there, our dollar stretch long, shall I say, in their world. So when we come over there and can bring businesses, ideas, and different things like that, they love it and flock to it. You feel me? They be ready to work, early. Like, you ready? You ready, boss? I'm like, hey, cuz it's 7, 6 in the morning. I'm talking about they be out early on the farm getting it. Like, so, I mean, a lot of these brothers be 40, 50, but I mean, bodies be young, eating healthy. Like, yeah, it's lovely, man. Like, Jamaica's a beautiful place, and just happened to run into some cool people while I was out there and just decided to start doing business. And the rest from there was just
so like, you in the grill with it?
Huh?
I said, so it's you in the grill with it?
Yeah. I kind of be all over in the grill, Montego Bay. We're about to start doing some stuff down there in Kingston too as well. So just trying to be a little mobile down there, man. It's a lot of opportunities that we can really find down there, I'll just say. And with them just opening up the cannabis market publicly, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, I got family down there. Me and her just got back from down there, probably like 3 weeks ago, and I was looking at property down there.
Yeah.
That's why we went down there for a little vacation and then property search. But it was funny that when I heard you talking about it, I'm like, oh, he's on the same type time, because that's what I'm about to get property in Montego Bay.
Yeah. You can lease it for quite a reasonable price, I'll just say. So, there's plenty of opportunities, and that's why this is all about getting your affairs together, your trust and your wills, especially when you go to Jamaica, because it's even sweeter for Jamaica, because like they operate to where, like, if you're a Rasta, you know what I'm saying, and a part of like the Rasta Nation, you know how to move and do that. I mean, you can move through a non-for-profit Rasta organization and, and already automatically have the religious right to smoke marijuana and, and sell anyway. But yeah, this is all trust law. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, that trust is an actual entity, and you can take it to any of these corporate jurisdictions and just register it there to do business. I mean, not do business, but you do it through a LLC, of course. But yeah, that's why this trust law is so cold, man. I love it. And like, I promise you, when you get in deep into this trust law, you're going to be wanting to make trust in businesses and stuff like that all day. It's a game. And when you get cold, man, especially you can make some digital money. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I got businesses and trust for every single one of my companies. You know what I'm saying? Everything that y'all see going on out here in the public, that's just digital. I got trust. I got businesses, bank accounts for all of that. That's how it's supposed to be. That's just organization. That's structure. Our people just don't have no structure right now. Once we have structure in our life, everything starts having a path.
Brother Truth, what actually propelled you to seek this knowledge and spread it?
Man, I mean, many things in life. When people get to taking your assets and court things and stuff like that, and you lose enough battles, you'll start learning how to wipe your behind, or continue to lose. You feel me? And especially in like the courtroom with traffic and tickets, and all it took was for a time or two for me to go to jail, and I was like, nah, they got me all the way back. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the way confused. So. From then on, man, it was just about learning how to build and learn how to protect myself more than anything. And I think once I kind of came into the information, it was like, yo, this is the missing piece and the key that my people need. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when I realized, when I started going to all these business camps and stuff that I was going to, that a lot of these Caucasians and Asians that I was out here with, I was the only brother, but they were already operating like this. And they have been operating like this for generations. Many of them had already had wills and trust, and many of them had family crest, and many of them had already, they had already knew all this. They were like, well, welcome to the party. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally decades and generations behind when it comes to business. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, so usually when I see and hear a lot of these brothers out here, or sisters, whatever, on the, just on the whole black empowerment thing, and I was like, that's cool. It's cool to have, your color crayon, pride, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, do you know business? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how to deal?
I know I don't.
Yeah. So that's why it's like people gotta learn.
And I'm trying to learn. I got children,
Oh yes, ma'am. So that's what it's all about. And before you can really move and do anything out here, you gotta learn the basics. And that's what everybody is here learning, which is the basics. And you'll be able to take these and carry them for the rest of your life. Like, period. And that's why I was like, it don't matter what country you go to. I can go to France, I can go to Spain, and I can get down the exact same way. No different than I did in Jamaica. And that's the thing, when you know the rules and the laws, every single one of these corporations has a place for unincorporated religious assemblies, because it's churches. There's not a place on this planet you can't go and set up a church. You feel me?
Wow.
So that's what this is all about. You ain't got to have a church that's sitting on the corner operating through a 501c3. You have a whole different kind of unincorporated religious assembly, which is a 508c1a. That's a whole it's a church, but it's a totally different status classification. You feel me? 508c1a. It's not a 501c3. A 501c3 has to preach the message of the Romans. And if you don't, they can take your tax exemptions, which is why these Christian churches and things like that, a lot of them have to preach the message of the crown, because they know if they don't, they will get their taxes, they'll get their tax exempts taken away. Like, this is a game. That's why, but the church and the government works hand in hand. So as long as the church preaches the message that the government, the state wants them to preach, then therefore they won't tax them. This is why you got to create your own government and state and, your own state and religion, so that you could be operating and moving how you want to move. Create your own message from your own state and, from your own religion, and run your state like that. Run your family like that. It's all the same thing. I was like, man, this stuff gets so deep, it'll make your head spin. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different levels and avenues you could take this church concept in. You have a church concept with your family, or you can have a church where you're running your own nation of friends, homies, and people. It's whatever. It gets deep with this trust law. And you could flip it and twist it in so many different ways. Anybody else? Any other questions? Good. Wonderful. So I'm about to go eat. I appreciate y'all's time. Like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this mixed and mastered. I'm gonna give this all to y'all, and I say I'm gonna try to go ahead and load all the folders with templates and everything like that, so you can have the physical copies too. And yeah, man, y'all be able to keep this information, like I said, forever. And save. Don't just count on it to be on the internet. Go ahead and save this to your computer too. Because yeah, somebody had deleted.
Yes.
Man. Somebody had deleted my damn.
They getting smart.
Yeah. So I had a nationality video course that was on the website. It was like damn near an hour and a half long on nationality. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? I messed around and let people be able to like edit the templates and the files, and I left that edit one on, and like somebody deleted the whole damn video. So I was like, damn, if anybody does happen to have that video, I like it. You know what I'm saying? If anybody
How do we download it, Brother Chief?
Yeah, you can download it right on the website. I mean, like with these links that like I said, the link that we gave y'all to actually
the OneDrive.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually put those templates in that same template where y'all watched the video today. So I'm gonna put the templates and everything. And you can download the template
So we have
on the thing. With the link I give y'all will be able to download it.
That we're in now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you because
thank you again.
No doubt.
Definitely.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for listening.
Very much appreciated.
I appreciate
no doubt. We appreciate you.
It's a long journey in the dark. All right.
Yeah.
So we appreciate anybody listening.
I can imagine because it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
I want to learn this to the full.
Yeah.
Me too.
So yes, that's why we're breaking it down like this in little pieces. It would be no way I could give you all this at one time because your head will pop. You feel me? Like real talk. So I gotta give y'all this in little baby pieces.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're only gonna do 2 classes a week.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a lot. It's information that you've never seen in your life, but you're gonna see soon that you can't even operate without it. It's like, damn, what was I doing all of this time? We were running out here naked. That's what we were doing. We have no control over our life, and everybody else.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, everybody has. The government.
It makes sense because it starts answering those questions that you have inside.
Yep. And this is why the Bible says, in Corinthians 6:19, God is within you and your body is the temple. It's because truly you always have the power and the control over your life.
Yes.
It was just about, did you know that you did? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I ain't going to get into preaching.
Exactly.
The Bible is very metaphorical. You see what I'm saying? And it's not, anyway, so.
It's a guide. It's a guide for sure.
Yeah, it's a guide. It's actually the Helios Bibliotech because it's actually a science book. We ain't gonna get into all that. You feel me? But again, our stuff was remixed and twisted, and it was given back to us on a silver platter, and we were shoved to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, as long as we always remember, King James was the one who came over here to invade us, and we go to church on these Sundays. Well, I don't even know, but people go to church on these Sundays reading the King James version.
I don't exactly.
Romans. Yeah, they still in control. Y'all still reading their version. That's why you're our enemy. You feel me?
So how do you get like the original? Is there access to the original?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can go and get the original. I mean, they have older Bibles that predate, their version of it, the King James version, for sure. You actually got Bibles that even mention like Moors and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, they have so many versions of the Bible.
Yeah, that's what I want too.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can add that PDF in here too, or something like that, or find out which one that is, because you can get that one. They definitely have them.
Yeah, just like a reference. Yeah,
definitely.
That would be awesome.
Okay, thank you. I would really appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Strike your.
Brother Chief, I don't know if you got my question, but can you email me when you have a chance?
Yes, ma'am. Can I email you that book or?
No, I sent you a question.
Okay.
I don't know if you got it. I didn't want to interrupt the class.
You don't have to pay.
Who's talking?
Tom.
Alex.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. No doubt. I got you.
I appreciate you. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too as well. I appreciate y'all.
Have a good night.
Y'all have a blessed one. I'm about to be out of here. And by the end of this course, y'all all gonna be gone. Yeah, and be creators out here. Yeah. And then y'all
No doubt.
we're gonna all get some certificates. We're gonna get y'all some robes or something. Now I'm playing, but y'all gonna graduate. It's gonna be real.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
Burger King back in the day, like we'll get the crown. Something. We're gonna get something. We graduated in this joint. And I promise y'all gonna be ready for the commercial world, man. So I appreciate y'all, and y'all take care of yourself. I'm about to be out. Peace and love to you. Next time we're gonna make it happen even more. I'll let you boy.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.